Alright, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It's your boy Buddy Yoda back at it again with another video, and today I am going to be breaking down the Week 1 predictions for the NFL season. Yes, NFL content, it's finally here. Can't wait to get started. So, I'm going to be breaking down the individual matchups that we have, as well as the spreads for each matchup, who I think you should take straight up, who I would take against the spread, and what my over-under is for each game. So, let's get it started. So our first game of the week, which will be this Thursday, it's so close. We have the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are favored as 7.5 points. So what that means is they're expected to win by 7.5 more points than what Dallas will score. The over-under for the game is 52 total points, and for straight up, I have the Bucs taking the straight up as well as the spread. Reason for this is recently Dallas's great I think he's the right tackle, Zach Martin, is going to be out for this game due to COVID, which is an unfortunate blow. This leaves the Bucs pass rush as very much more deadly, as they'll be able to send their blitzes more often with Shaq Barrett coming off the edge, as well as Vita Vea stuffing the middle. So I think their defense is really going to hold the Cowboys back. I still expect there to be a lot of points in this game, so I would say definitely take the over at 52 points. I expect the Bucs to at least score around 30 to 35, and Dallas somewhat trailing them by 24 to 27. Next matchup we have is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is favored by 4 points, and the over-under is 48. In this situation, I would actually take Philly for the straight-up and the spread. I think this is my upset of the week. I don't know if it's too big of an upset, but I believe in Jalen Hurts for what he's going to be able to do, and I think Philly's going to be able to win this in a close matchup. I do have it being taking the under, though. I don't see. Maybe Atlanta can put up some of the points, but I still think Philly's going to be able to hold them on this. So I would say take the under. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 6.5 points with a 48.5 spread. My prediction, take the Bills straight up and against the spread, as well as take the over. Pittsburgh is probably going to run mainly through Najee Harris. They're going to probably put the brakes on that man. And even though Ben is very out of it, basically, he's still early on in the season, he should be fine to put up some of the points. And both defenses are extremely good. And you have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs putting up a great passing attack. Next, you have the Minnesota Vikings at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 3.5-point underdogs at home with a 48-point spread. Take Minnesota. They're going to run it through Dalvin Cook. You've got Kirk Cousins, who's going to throw to both Thielen and Jefferson, as well as take the spread for them as well. But I would say, even though they're probably going to score a lot of points, take the under because of the Bengals. I don't like the pick that they took Ja'Marr Chase. I think Ja'Marr Chase will be a good player, but right now he's having issues with drops reportedly, and they still don't have an offensive line. And Minnesota Vikings pretty much have their entire defense healthy for right now, so I would definitely say take the under for that. Next, you have 49ers at the Lions. The Lions are 7.5-point underdogs. It's a pretty bad one. But for straight up, I would say take the 49ers, but I would say take the Lions for the spread. Reason why? It's a very large margin for the spread. Usually you don't get more than 4 or 5 points for a spread, and usually most NFL teams keep it competitive. So I would say take the Lions for the spread, but I would say take the under. You have two offenses that you don't really know what you have. We don't even know for the 49ers if Jimmy G or Trey Lance is going to be the one starting. I presume it's going to be Jimmy G, but even then, you never know. And Detroit really doesn't have any wide receivers. Their only pass catcher is T.J. Hawkinson. Next, you have the Cardinals at the Titans. The Titans are 3-point favorites. That's mainly due to the home field advantage, and the spread is 45 points. For this one, I would say take the Titans straight up, but take the Cardinals to cover. The Cardinals, if they, this is Cliff Kingsbury's last ride, basically. If they don't do well this year, I could see him easily being fired. But take the over. Two should be two explosive offenses. You've got the Titans with Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill. And then for the Cardinals, you've got Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and as well as they added A.J. Green. So these should be two very explosive offenses. Next, we have the Seahawks at Colts. The Colts are 3-point underdogs, and the spread is 48.5. For this, take the Seahawks straight up as well as the spread. Russell Wilson in the early part of the season always looks like an MVP candidate, so expect him to put up a large amount of yards as well as take the over. Even though I'm not sure if Carson Wentz is going to start this game, I still feel like the Colts will be respectable and put up a decent amount of points, so I would say take the over. Next, you have the LA Chargers at the Washington football team. Washington is a 1.5-point underdog in this situation with a spread of 44.5. I like Justin Herbert a lot, but I think Washington's defense is going to be a little bit too stingy. So I would say take Washington in the straight up and the spread, but take the under for them. I think the defense is really going to be the main battle for this matchup. Next, you have the New York Giants at the New York Jets at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina is a 5.5-point favorite with a spread of 45. I would say take Carolina straight up, but take the Jets to cover. Only reason it's mainly just a feeling I'm taking for that one. But I would say take the under. You may see Zach Wilson blossom into something very interesting, and I think Robert Saleh and his defense will keep it respectable. That's the main reason I would say take the Jets for the spread, but take the under for that. Next, you have Jags at Houston. Houston is a 3-point underdog with a 45-point spread. Take Jacksonville. It was recently announced that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the Houston Texans starting quarterback, meaning the Deshaun Watson situation is still ongoing, and they're just going to keep him on the roster and let him just ride through this year and may not even play him. So I would say take Jacksonville. It sucks that Travis Etienne is out for the season and looks to be a pretty devastating injury for running backs, but you still have James Robinson as well as DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault, and you brought in Marvin Jones. So Trevor Lawrence should have plenty of guys to throw the ball to and keep the offense moving. But I would say take the under because I just don't know if Houston's going to be able to put up many points at all. Next, you have the Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. AFC divisional rematch. Browns got very good, much better. Chiefs fixed their only issue, which was their tackle situation. Chiefs are favored at 6 points with a 53-point spread. I would say take KC straight up, but have Cleveland cover. This should be a very high-flying duel between offenses, so I would say take the over for this prediction. Next, you have the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. The Patriots are 3-point favorites with a 43.5 spread. For this, Mac Jones is going to be the starter, and rookie quarterbacks usually take a little bit of time to get going. So I'm actually going to take Miami at New England. I know that's pretty weird to predict that the Patriots are going to lose at home, but I would say take Miami both straight up and in the spread. I think they got I expect to progress pretty well after this offseason. They got some pretty good weapons in Jalen Waddle and, he was Houston. I can't remember his name, but I know they signed him in free agency. He was a Houston Texan last year, wide receiver. But for this, I would say for 43.5 points, take the over as well. Take the under. Take the under. Both defenses should be very good, so I don't expect many points to come out of this one. Next, you have Green Bay at my New Orleans Saints. This game is going to be played in Jacksonville. Quick thing about that. It is going to be hot, hot, hot. if you remember back, I think in 2019 when the Saints played the Jags, how sloppy that game was due to the heat, I think you could see something similar here. I expect Green Bay to win straight up. Also, the Saints are 4.5-point underdogs with a 50-point spread. Take Green Bay to win straight up, but I would say New Orleans will cover as it will be a very close matchup. And take the under because I believe it's going to be a sloppy game due to the heat. Next, you have Denver at New York Giants. The Giants are 2.5-point underdogs with a 42.5 spread. I would say take Denver for straight up and the spread. Reason why is mainly is not due to the fault of really Denver like putting up more points, but I don't trust Daniel Jones. He still has, I believe, a fumbling issue, and I think that'll cost him dearly. Denver is starting Teddy Bridgewater, who will be a safe, reliable option. He won't win you any games, but he won't lose you the game either. And they have a pretty stingent defense. But I would say take the under. I don't see a lot of points being scored in this one. And then for your Sunday night, you have the Bears at the LA Rams. The Rams are 7-point favorites with a 44-point spread. I would say Andy Dalton, I believe, is going to be the Bears' starting quarterback. So with Matthew Stafford, Robert Woods for the Rams, and Sean McVay coaching them, I would say take the Rams straight up as well as against the spread. And I would say for 44 points, take the over actually on this one. I think the Rams are going to put up a good fair amount of points, but I don't think Bears would be trailing by less than 10 points. So I see the Rams putting up about 30 to 35, and I could see the Bears putting up 24 to 20-ish. And then for your Monday Night Football, you have the Baltimore Ravens at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are 5-point underdogs and with a 50.5-point spread. I would say take Baltimore to win straight up, but take the Raiders to cover. I know the Raiders got significantly worse this offseason, but in the first half of the season, they usually are a pretty good football team, but I would still say take the under. All right, and that is my official predictions for Week 1. I will update y'all after the week ends and see how the results are and how I picked against the spread, as well as straight up, as well as for the over-under. All right, Who Dat Nation, see you later. It's your boy Buddy Yoda signing out, and remember, Who Dat?